Hi, Scott ROCKFILE back with another podcast review, talking about the 2025 science fiction horror film, Ash. I like the stars. I was intrigued by the premise and the reviews. Picked up a cheap copy. You could get it really cheap, $13-14. Flying Lotus directed this. He's a musician, now a movie director. He actually is in the film as well. Stars Isa Gonzalez and Aaron Paul. They're the two main stars. You remember her from Baby Driver and many other movies. Of course, you know him from Breaking Bad. Iko Uwais is in this. A few other people I didn't recognize. Only made about $1.1 million at the box office when it was released back in March. They thought it would make more. It's got generally good reviews, and overall, I thought it was pretty good. I don't want to give anything away, but there's a lot of... Let me start again. This is a standard kind of science fiction horror movie done incredibly well. It is visually stunning. It is shocking in places. Flying Lotus, the director, knows just when to hit the tropes just right. You know, when to hit the gas and when to let off. Sometimes he subverts the science fiction horror tropes that we're seeing. But by the end, it comes full circle and ends in a way that is, well, I hate to say kind of mainstream and typical for what came before it. There's pieces of Alien, there's pieces of The Thing, there's even pieces of Pandorum in this film, but it's its own unique entity. Much like Planet of the Vampires, I think he is a Bava fan, and he did give some thank yous to some other great directors that he probably pulled a little bit from. It's a very colorful picture. I would have loved a 4K of this. At this time of recording this, I haven't found a 4K internationally that I could get easily, but it did come out on Blu-ray in the United States, and there's a little bit of bending in some of the dark stuff. It really deserved a 4K. They filmed it on a very nice camera, real, I believe, film, or maybe it was digital, I'm not real sure, but it looks great. It does. It looks like a big budgeted film, and it probably was not. The original stars had to be replaced at the last minute. Tessa Thompson was going to be in this. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which I don't know. It would have given it a different flavor. But I like the two stars in this and the rest of the cast and how the movie's presented and how it gets to where it goes. Especially the first two-thirds of it. It's like, this is unique, interesting, involving. There's a little bit of gore for the gorehounds. There's a little bit of horror stuff. There's a lot of science fiction stuff. He's telling a story and you're slowly getting pieces of it. I mean, all of that is done just really, really well. I just kind of wish the end had just had a bit more oomph. There is a great set piece and it's a big fight scene, so to speak. And then it has an ending that's hopeful and then kind of not hopeful and a little bit of twist there. And like from beginning to end, this is not a bad film in any way, shape, or form. It just wasn't the instant classic I was hoping it to be. I think the music is really good. Again, that was done by Flying Lotus. And the visuals, you're going to watch this for the mood it creates and the way it looks. Like I said, by the end of it, you're going to go, oh, that was a little bit of this and that. It was kind of this meets this kind of movie. Yes, it is that too. But it's done very well. Just like a great song or a great song covered by somebody else, doing it something creative with it and interesting. Well, it's the same thing with this kind of movie. You have seen this kind of movie before, but not done this way. I think Ash is really good. It should get a 4K release at some point. It probably won't because it didn't make any money. But if you're looking for a science fiction horror movie to watch, you might enjoy it. Like I said, there is a lot to enjoy. I'm just not sure. I just wanted more out of it, I guess. And that's probably my own fault of putting expectations on a film. But you read a lot of good reviews about a modern science fiction horror movie these days. You expect a lot. I mean, we're living in the days of Christopher Nolan knocking it out of the park every time he makes a movie and things like that. But all in all, it was a great experience. Glad I own it. And I am itching to rewatch it because there's some things I want to... Well, there's a lot of things that are flashed in front of you. And once you get to the end and can realize everything that happened, this would play a little different on the second watch. I would say it's definitely worth the $13.95 to $14.95 you'll find it for right now. I'm finding that physical media is disappearing. If it doesn't sell a lot, they're not reprinting it. So I will give recommendations in my podcast like I usually do, that if you do collect movies, I would pick this one up because it may not be around. Then again, the company that released this, if it does do well, down the road, they might release a 4K Steelbook. They have done that more than once. They just released a 4K Steelbook of Late Night with the Devil, something that other countries had in 4K 2 years ago. But anyway, takes a little while, I guess. Anyway, I liked pretty much everything about it. I just kind of wish it had been more of a classic, more than just, hey, that was interesting and I should recommend that to people, but not something that, I'm going to search out and see if there's a German steel book in 4K that I'll pay $50 for. It wasn't that good, but it was entertaining. And I thought all of the effects, everything was pulled off far beyond what the budget probably was. Ash, check it out. It's available on home video now. It was streaming on Amazon in other countries. I'm not sure about this, but you can probably find it on Shudder here in the United States. Ash from 2025, check it out. It was directed by Flying Lotus. Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts are on the way. Please, if you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe, and have a spectacular day.